Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Amar Elm, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are absolutely thrilled to be joined by John Chapman, the founder of The Marketing Chap, a full-service consultancy specializing in strategic marketing, brand transformation, and revenue growth for B2B and B2C companies. With decades of experience across corporate sales, marketing, and consulting, John brings a unique blend of traditional business insight and modern marketing tactics. John, welcome to Founders Future.
Yeah, thank you. That sounded great. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. I'm excited to dive in. I always like to start from the beginning. So take us back on a little trip down memory lane to before you started the Marketing Chap, because I believe it was fairly recent.
Yeah,
What, yeah, what were you doing beforehand, and what was really the motivation behind starting the company?
yeah, for sure. Before this, I've actually always been in marketing for probably over the last decade or so. I started in Charlottesville with Intellos early 2000s, 2010 to that point. And they were doing a lot of mergers and whatnot. And we were doing marketing back then, but before you really had a traditional CRM. You were just collecting phone numbers, names, giving out
Yep.
free sunglasses and stuff. So that's where my business marketing experience came from. And leading up into recent years, I've always wanted to start my own marketing agency and be able to offer it to local businesses, but it's just never been the right time or resources haven't been there. I have a big family and they come first, and sometimes you got to be careful with the risks. But finally, it was about the time to take the risk. My wife and I were able to find a lot of good resources, so we started it up officially about few weeks ago, and we're just taking on a few prospects here and there, but it's definitely already starting to be popular really quickly, which we expected, but you want to be ready as soon as things come your way. Yeah.
100%. So I'd love to fast forward to give the listeners a little bit more insight into your company overall. So let's start off with at the Marketing Chap, who would you say is your ideal customer? And then what are the different offers and services that you provide?
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, we've built the model to scale to small businesses or larger businesses. We've pretty much come up with a couple of tiers to fit people who are at different stages. So obviously with marketing, we always joke it's like a stock car. You have different components. So we try to offer small businesses that aren't even in the SEO game that kind of went straight to social media, try to get them to backtrack a little and say, okay, great, you have this big presence, this brand, that's the cover of your car, but what's underneath? What's the engine? What's the SEO stuff? Are you tracking your leads? Are you building your customer base? IP, brand, all the things that come with marketing, they never really studied. They've had their businesses over a decade. So a lot of local businesses I'm working with now have had a brand presence, maybe either through Facebook, Yelp, even Google business profiles over the last few years have been popular. So we've been really able to connect with a lot of small and medium-sized businesses that are bringing in a lot of revenue and they want to go to the next level, right, of their whole brand and not just keep doing the Facebook ads and all the other ad and advertisements is really popular these days, but that's great. But now as things change and AI is getting more popular, a lot of companies are coming up with those options. So I just want to be able to offer our services to small, medium businesses. That's our main clientele. We built the model to expand to larger businesses, so really to fit anybody. But yeah, really we like the collaboration model of it as well too, like trying to work with local businesses, do certain events for them, or collaborate really with anyone who would work with us.
What do you mean when you say you built the model to be able to support larger businesses?
So we have a base structure of what we would essentially do, and it depends on how large or big the website or the business is, right? If you're doing multimedia marketing for a football team, it's going to be a huge base. You got to know your clientele. We have a lot of tools that I think we've built for large companies to reach a lot of subscribers, build up their clientele. But then we want to be able to offer this and to smaller businesses that want to learn to grow. So we've been able to do for people who have a small mom and pop business that may be doing a lot of money and they don't have a marketing department or team and maybe they're not ready to throw $10,000 $15,000 into a Google ad campaign. That's great. We'll come into that. I always offer people a free assessment. I love to talk to anybody. I'll talk to you for 30 minutes, an hour, however long, that we need to figure things out. And then if it fits your business, great, we'll move forward. But I never try to press anything. I want to work with people who want to work with me. That's what I've always done in the past.
100%. I'm curious what the monetization angle looks like, because I talk to a lot of agency or marketing agencies, and
Hmm.
a lot of them are just low ticket or lower ticket monthly retainers. I'm
Yeah.
curious for you, is it just a monthly retainer? Is it a package where people come in and they work with you for 3 to 6 months at a time and then retainer
Mhm.
after that? What does that look like?
Obviously, because we're a startup, we don't want to turn anybody away. Our goal is to actually offer like a monthly reoccurring charge that contains 1 to 3 packages. Obviously, if you want to do all your social media stuff, you still have to have other things in line, like your SEO. You'll have to do some ad campaigns, tracking links. I have a background in marketing, but also I did visual communications and game design. And I never thought going back into an HTML coder would really benefit me, or Googling what the latest HTML guides are and such things. But I've been linking with a lot of my programming friends
Yeah.
and just going back into the website basics, really fixing the links and seeing what
Yeah.
actually your headers are, your meta descriptions. Everything changes on meta, it seems, every few months. And now you're having a lot of troubles with the APIs and the tracking, so you have to make sure all that's done. And really, I'm not trying to dive too far. You don't want to dive into the deep end with people who never even have used certain medias. So the idea is to try to dull it down. And this sounds ridiculous, but a 30,000-foot view of what this can do, and we can possibly see what's in the future, trying to be broad but direct at the same time, which makes no sense. But
Yeah,
that's what we all want.
100%. That makes perfect sense. Now, let's shift to the back end of the business. So, for you personally, with your agency, when you're looking to acquire more customers and bring on more clients, what does your current lead generation process look like?
So a lot of it right now is word of mouth and local business owners that I've worked with in the past. I worked for the Chamber of Commerce for a year and locally through Hampton Roads. Virginia Beach and Hampton Roads area is different from a lot of places in Virginia because you have the metropolitan area, then you have the beach area, then you have a very rural area in Suffolk and Chesapeake. There's just so many different businesses and everybody tries to work with everyone. Right now, I would say like our ultimate goal is essentially just get the leads in from word of mouth. I'm building my reviews obviously through Google, and I have a lot of former associates that want to work with me. Obviously, we have the standard lead generation portals. My biggest thing is data. I'm always a big data person. So I love the analytics. If something's trackable, I want to put a tag on it. And I don't want to just sell. We try to be a different model too, where we're doing not as much just sales. You want to do some motivational stuff, obviously, and a lot of informational posts and generations we want. So capturing the leads of people who might be locally who want to work with us in the future. They're just not at that point. And we would love to partner with any other multimedia companies and try to get any sort of word out. So it's like we love to be an avenue to word of mouth. So the leads, that's our goal, is to build lead campaigns, and that's what I'm working on as well. So it's crazy. The digital marketing company, on one side, I'm internally running our essential marketing with my wife and a few others, and then we're also ready to run other companies. So it's crazy. You have both sides of the
Yeah,
coin.
for sure. When you say building lead campaigns, what does that specifically look like
It really depends, honestly, on the client.
for you? Like for when you're looking to acquire customers, are you building lead campaigns for yourself?
Yeah, I pretty much right now I'm doing like the business networking groups, obviously, and I'm keeping all those leads. I have a lot of former leads that I've built into our CRM essentially right now. So I'm building a bot to essentially do the sequence for our leads. But yeah, I have a contact form in my email. If you just do the info at themarketingchap.net, we're tracking everything through there, and we have some automation set up. So right
Got it.
now we love to talk to anyone and take on anyone, and then if for some reason it doesn't fit, great, just keep us in mind, or we'll try to keep you in our lead generation in a few months when we do something new. If we can email you, that'd be great, or just connect. We're very transparent. Obviously, working with integrity is a big thing, and just being
100%.
available.
Yeah. I'm curious your perspective on this because I was talking to a gentleman that runs a marketing agency earlier this week, and he said that the majority of his leads come from referrals, word of mouth, networking. And
Mhm,
he expressed frustrations around they're great because they're typically easier to close, but he expressed frustrations with inconsistencies and lack of predictability when it comes to
mhm,
those channels. And obviously you're just starting out. So there maybe you haven't experienced this yet, but there comes a point when it dries up. I'm curious
mhm.
if you have run into that yet. And what is your perspective around building predictable lead generation machines where it's like a
Mhm.
faucet, you can turn it on and off and get more leads out.
Yeah. No, that's right. So obviously, because we're just startup, it's not really dried up. You're trying
Yeah.
to fill up the pool anyway, so it's a little bit easier. I come from a background of account management, sales, doing cold calls literally from a T-Mobile back office to local businesses, going to Google and literally just Googling who opened the business this month. So the lead generation, I would say I'm spearheading that, and a lot of it is just cold calling. I hate I hate other companies that want to pour tons of money into leads. And then you're 100% right to your point. You get them and either the contact's not right or they moved on. And a lot of people I've seen have moved. They may have similar roles, but they're in different companies. All that stuff. It's all about timeliness. I'd say accuracy. If you're going to pay for leads, as much detail as possible is great. We used to, at one of my older companies, had a program that would not generate leads for us, but we would load the leads in there and then they would do a general search and we would actually see if they were accurate or if the program brought up a different company name, LinkedIn, social. So I know depending on your level, if you can afford some of those, it's a good option.
Yeah.
Because you always want to trust but verify, right? And I would say for us, like I am looking into doing more paid leads for us, but we're going to follow the model I'm providing other businesses to be successful. We're going to do small. My idea is doing a few months at a time. From my experience, that's successful. You don't pour $10,000 in 6 months into something. You can do a quarter of that and see what the results are before you dive, right? So I would say trust and verify. There's a lot of programs out there that'll help you with leads as far as before you just call someone, and then you can move on from there and see what's best for you. But I think it's different. I would focus on one thing at a time though, because for
Yeah.
me, when I first got into this, I did everything all at once, right? Because that's what I'm used to. And I just got buried immediately. And then it was like, oh no, I need to figure out what works. So now I'm learning that slow, steady, do it right the first time is the best way. And that's kind of what we're going through the next few weeks, honestly, is now I'm handling more of the operations and getting the leads, onboarding customers and start handling them. And then we'll start leading into what our best lead generation source is, which I mean has been word of mouth and cold calls until that, you're right, until that dries up, then we'll find out what our best at that time is. But I don't want to put too much, obviously we plan, but not too much in the future where things will change by the time you get there. So
What does your sales process look like? So once a lead does come in, what are the different steps that they go through for them to become a client?
yeah, no, it's great. It's pretty straightforward. I've been an account manager for many years. After the pandemic, a few years shut a lot of businesses down. I actually went remotely and I learned through a lot of Microsoft tools how to do things. Generally, it's pretty straightforward. We get a lead, we'll reach out to the customer and do about a 30-minute assessment and just figure out, okay, what are we looking for? What do you do now? General questions. Are you used to working with a marketing agency? Some people never have, some people have one already. You just figure out the basics. I love to get the questions and kind of everything done and do it up front because I'm not going to waste your time, right? If you own a business, I know it's valuable. So I don't want to waste days and times in all these meetings. So generally we have a 3 to 4 step process, obviously. Lead, talk to our client or prospect, see if things match. And then I want to set the next follow-up meeting within a few days if that's possible. And then I come back with, okay, this is what I've done some research on. I would love to research someone and their company after they tell me what they want before just saying, oh, I think this is great. Because what do I really know, honestly?
Yeah.
So that's a plan is one meeting, see what's going on, try to keep it brief, discovery-ish meeting, and then come up with your next meeting. Obviously, going to be a lot longer, 1 to 2 hours. I would love to do things face to face. I mostly work from home
Wow.
and remotely, but I have rented. I don't want to pitch anyone, but there's like a ton of co-working spaces nowadays are coming back and popular. So like you can get certain ones that are cheaper. I work from home and I don't want to have a PO box, but I have a mailbox there, obviously, for certain things I need and meetings I need. I can rent conference rooms. So I think it's a good idea. That's for next step. If we're going to spend a few hours talking about how you're going to build your business to spend tons of money, I'm willing to meet you face to face anywhere in Virginia, mostly, or if you want to come meet me in Virginia Beach, that's great. But that would be that next step. Obviously, here's what we can do. Here's your problems
Yeah.
that you said. These are the solutions. Do you want to move forward? Very straightforward. If they want to, that's great. We move forward with the next. Essentially, we'll come up with a agreement, engagement agreement, terms and conditions, disclaimers, and then essentially have an exhibit with our addendums. This is what we'll do. Move on from there. If they want to sign and go forward, great. We have accounting. We just process the invoices, obviously. And like I said, our goal is to do a monthly reoccurring charge. But starting up, we're working with people on collaborations. Looking into, you don't want to get bogged down, obviously, with all the projects, because with the SEO and website building, you could spend 3 months building something and then never see someone again. And that's what people do when they just get
Yeah.
the content creation stuff. So our process is, I would say, streamlined. And as things get bigger, we'll do things the most efficient way possible. But that's to help our company and theirs, whoever I'm working with, honestly. So we put a
Yeah.
lot of time the last few months. I've been working with a lot of business advisors. I have a lot of mentors from previous companies that have decades of experience in marketing and whatnot that we've been listening to. So yeah, I pretty much shut up, listen, write down, and then we go to work. So it's been pretty good.
When you think of your vision and where you want to take the company over the next 12 months, what specific revenue targets, performance targets are you aiming for?
Specifically, I have those with my accountant, obviously, and we have projections. Obviously, I don't know if anyone's ever run a business from the start, but you come with your business plans, you come with your marketing plan, your P&Ls, financial statements. So our goal, obviously, financial stability has always been our family goal because it was me and my wife who started. Now I'm working with a couple other friends of mine. The financial goals in the next future, as we grow, I believe will be successful by targeting the same areas that I'm helping these businesses with as far as the marketing reach. Like we're literally building our brand as we're trying to help other companies build their brand. And one of our big things also over the next year, as we take up clients, we're doing a model where we're being industry specific. So obviously, we take on a chiropractor in Virginia Beach, we'll be specific. We'll just facilitate that client because we don't want to be competing in the same area. We don't want to pour resources into people who are right next to each other competing for the same clients. So that's a big model kind of marker of ours is take on the industry specific in a certain city and then we believe the revenue will grow as we branch out through our Virginia goal is to go as far as we can. We're digital, we're online. Capabilities are crazy nowadays with the amount of people I can meet with in a day for a 30-minute one hour meeting. I could meet five different business owners. So I've always been a proponent of using all the resources available. And so I see over the next year we're definitely growing. We're trying to hit, we'd love to be $1 million agency, of course, take on a ton of clients, but then we have to make sure as we're growing the base is so solid it's not going to crumble in 6 months to a year when we hit a number that we want to.
Yeah.
So it's very strategic. Honestly, I would say I know enough, but I love my accountant because they are great and I meet with them as much as I can. And then they're great with guiding the things I'm not the best at.
Yeah. So you said $1 million. Did I hear that correctly?
The goal is obviously, so I don't know, obviously the numbers, it's all math, right? So if I want to make, as a business owner, if I want to make $100,000 a year, usually you have to breach $1 million revenue because after taxes, expenses, employees, you're usually, 10% is what you can expect. But like people, I think people love the idea of running a business and they see the product or the result but they'll never see the amount of hours you've been on a laptop. I could say I've probably spent the entire NBA finals on my laptop with my headphones on while my family was sleeping. And I'm just sitting here working away on the website or building a lead campaign or it's great. I can have ADHD and I can do multiple things at the same time.
Yeah.
But I would say, yeah, as a business owner, I think there's a lot more to it than people realize or see. They just
100%.
see the products essentially.
Yeah, I completely agree. And all our listeners understand that because it's mainly business owners, entrepreneurs. What do you feel like is the biggest challenge that you're facing right now to taking this to the next level?
Honestly, I'm trying to do everything all at once.
Mm,
I'm literally trying to build my marketing company and I'm trying to help take, and I'm taking meetings with people talking about how they want to do campaigns. So I think growing very quickly is it's a great problem, but it's also one of those things that we don't want to reach too far too quick. So
yeah.
we're trying to be very strategic. But yeah, I would say right now I'm trying to work with the best people, the best companies I can. I'm not just saying, hey, doors open, let's just discount everything, let's bring everyone in. Like we're trying to give you a product and a service that's valuable. And we see that.
100%.
If you don't, that's fine. And yeah, we're a startup, but we see the value in what we're building. So if it's not
Yeah.
a right time right now, great. Check us back in 6 months. We're sure we'll be here. You can
Yeah.
come work with us then. So I would say the challenges are obviously being a startup, but the way we're doing it. And like I said, I've been working in the community the last few years through other organizations. I worked with ECPI, I worked with the chamber. So I know a lot of business associates and companies throughout Hampton Roads that we're just
Yeah.
trying to help a lot of people
Sure.
in that position too.
For the people listening to this and they're interested in working with you, what's the best way for them to reach out?
Anyway, honestly, LinkedIn, Facebook, obviously our website, promoting a complete connected umbrella. So Google Business Profile. It's so crazy. I never even thought working with other companies when I first started this one and we started building all our sites. I went to our reputation, obviously, to see where I could go. You can register with local services, Yelp. I mean, there's so many options out there, but I would say for people, the marketingchap.net, everything's linked through there, Facebook, LinkedIn. As we do more videos, we'll be doing YouTube. A big push of ours actually has been looking into CTV options, digital TV, digital radio ads. I looked for a campaign the other day because we were trying to promote umbrellas. So we looked at weather in Virginia Beach when it rains, and I was like, I didn't even know you could do that. That's great. And so we're having fun building these campaigns of options that are just like who knew that would be beneficial to a certain client. So it's yeah, we're getting to a lot more direct and targeted options too, which I've seen in the
Yeah.
past people be broad. marketing instead of the very direct stuff. And nowadays, everyone has a cell phone in a household. If you have 5 people in a household, you can have 5 different targets. So we're trying to
Yeah,
come up with campaigns that are logical to businesses, maximize your revenue and what you're spending, and do it smart.
awesome.
Not always works, but
Yeah.
try.
John, thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it. Thanks.
Anytime. So that wraps up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to check out themarketingchap.net. Reach out to John Chapman. He's available on all platforms. And if you're a business owner and you're looking to scale your business and really enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to discover how we can support your growth journey. Until then, keep on climbing.